A very common situation for us is when we're meeting with a couple is we will have them face each other and have them practice speaking to one another and validating each other. And we will have them use the rules for both the speaker and the listener. Now, there are common skills and results that we look for. So let me outline some of the things that we're watching for. Awkwardness. I bring this up because many people say that it does feel awkward. And I'll ask them, did that feel awkward to you? And that's okay. It's going to feel that way. And I just want to validate that it's natural to feel awkward with them. And I'll explain that I use this technique in both my personal life as well as my business life, and that it's very effective. Unspoken feelings. When one of the people mentions a feeling that hasn't been verbally expressed, we'll call that out and we'll compliment them on a job well done. We'll say, I noticed that your spouse didn't say that they're afraid of what may happen, and you asked them about their fear. I mean, that was a great job. You extended it, and if they got it right, great. If not, it doesn't matter. The point is that they asked about another emotion, and so we want to call out the unspoken feelings. Being tentative. We'll ask the listener to be tentative in their response. It sounds like, I think I heard, is that right? Am I getting this? And when we hear that, and we hear them say that, we'll compliment them and say, hey, good job being tentative. Delaying action steps. Very common for some people to jump to action steps to fix the issue right away. And we want them to be sure that they get their thoughts and feelings out first, and that both sides have had a chance to be able to express that before they get into action steps. So if they do jump to the action steps right away, we'll correct them and we'll say, hey, we just want to get the thoughts and feelings out first, and then you can get into action steps. A deeper connection. Ultimately, being validated to help couples to understand, and it's about building a deeper connection. And so after they validated each other, we'll say, how did it feel to be validated? And many people will reply that, that felt great. I really appreciated it. It just felt good to know that they understood. So we'll say, did that build your connection? It's like, yes. And so what we are trying to get out on the table is that couples recognize that this is helping them and that they're learning a skill that's going to help them to be able to connect more with each other. And the more they do that, what we see is that their poor behaviors like criticism, defensiveness, etc., they decline because they're feeling validated, and so they're not reacting with the poor behaviors, and they'll have much more constructive and productive connection with each other. All right, tips for marriage mentors. Start with an easy topic. Some couples will jump right into something that's really complex, and we want them to practice the skill. So if we see that, we'll say, how about picking something that's really easy? Maybe even something that won't trigger you. So start with what you appreciate about your spouse, or, when was a time that you appreciated each other? Understanding isn't agreement, and we repeat that over and over again. Just because you're validating does not mean you agree. You will get a chance to express your thoughts and feelings about it. And compliment them when they do well. We all like to be complimented, and recognize when they do any of these skills well. So those tips again, start with an easy topic. Understanding isn't agreement, and just point out when they do well.